Hey familia, you're listening to Sip and Chisme, powered by Cafecito and Chisme, where we sip slow, talk real, and go deep. I'm Mond.
I'm Allie Rain, and we're about to get raw and unfiltered.
So let's pour up that cafecito and let's get into it.
I got a call from my kid's mom. That night, I remember there was a reason why I had to charge my phone and not go to sleep like that. And I had to get up and get my phone, and I charged it. And I was like, then I got a call maybe around, it was during the week, maybe 9:30, 10 o'clock. And I have the kids with me, and she's giving me a call. It's like, I had the other two kids with me, and she gives me a call, and I was like,
why are you calling? I have the kids. Yeah.
And at that moment, so I knew something was wrong. I just heard her voice, like, she said, Oscar. It's like, Omar got shot. And I drive up there, and how that happened. It's devastating, and I know Jonathan was here, and he talked about his son, and he knows this pain. Like when they tell you the news, it's like your soul comes out of you. Like you can almost see yourself from another perspective. It's just at that point you don't exist. Like nothing matters. You don't nothing.
Yeah.
You're not real. Like it's not real. Nothing is real.
How old is he?
He was 16 at that time. I remember, when a doctor comes and tells me and my ex-wife, my kid's mom, like, it was a fatal shot. And I remember my ex-wife was like, she's like, Oscar, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? What does fatal mean? And at that moment, he want the word fatal to mean something else, like. And I was like, man, he's gone. It's just... And I remember just being so angry. And I knew God was there because I knew he protected me. Because now I look back and I'm like, I wanted to hurt somebody, anybody. And I would like to see, I used to see Mike Tyson's podcast, right? And he talks about one time, when his daughter passed away, she had an accident in a treadmill. And he went to the hospital, and he's like, I just wanted to kill somebody. It's like, who? He's like, it doesn't matter. And I used to always see that, like, wow, like his face, his anger. If you watch that clip, and then he even tells the interviewer, he's like, you have to leave. I was like, wow, like it gets so deep, and I see it like.
It was like the rage and the pain, and like he knew.
This was the worst part. Detectives, okay, here's my card. Exchange information. The news or the cops, everybody leaves. So what now? Like, I'm going home empty-handed. And that's when I started building this anger for God, right? Like, that was the breaking point of like, that's enough, right? Like, I didn't, so he was going through surgery, right? And I didn't call my family because I was like, I'm gonna call him whenever he's stable, And I'm thinking of ways, I'm like, I'm already seeing like, okay, I'm gonna go in the room and, what am I gonna tell him? Or something, am I gonna be like, where are you at? Or, I don't know, because at this point, I don't even know what happened or anything. And I'm already thinking of ways to approach my son, right? in the hospital in a room, and I just want to love him at that time. Like, I'm just gonna give him all this love, right? Like, and the doctor will come to other families like, oh yeah, your son got shot, because the other kids got shot. And he was like, yeah, he's stable conditions. I'm like, God, what about my son? What about him? So when I drive home empty-handed, this was the same hospital my son was born in 16 years prior. And I remember I was, driving home empty-handed. They didn't let us see my son or anything like that. Like, you go home empty-handed, right? So I started building this hate in my heart. Went home empty-handed, parked in my driveway, and I said, God, I'm tired. What now? Like, what's next after this? Like, where do I go from here? I'm being real. Like, this was the old me, right? I'm being real, right? Like,
Yeah.
He said, I'm like, I can't ask you to bring my son back. He's gone. But I just remember that it was anger and it was fear, because it was like, I can't depart from you. Like, I can't. So I'm going to be angry at you. I'm not going to say, God, I don't want nothing to do with you. But I started building this anger.
Yeah.
And I remember I was sitting there and just be real. Like, I said, you can't, you know what? I'm not even going to ask you to bring my son back. I'm going to ask you, like, the other kids that are there, take their lives too. Why just my son? And that's when like I said, I'm being 100% real. Like, those were my thoughts at that time. And I'm like, what do I do now? Like, where do I go from here? I wanted somebody to tell me, hey, bro, I lost my son too. But there was no, when I lost my dad, people, hey, I lost my dad too. And
yeah.
But losing a son, like, and a teenager like that and stuff like that, I always wanted somebody to say, hey, bro, like, I lost my son too. Or, because I didn't know, like, there was nothing for that, like, no kind of healing instructions or,
Yeah.
Or
like a group, like someone you can lean on to.
It happened, and I just had to learn how to, it was tough.
Yeah.
It was really tough.
What did you think of your boys, the smaller ones?
Man, the way I see it is like, as all of us, here, we're parents, we would do anything, right, for our kids. Like, I would say, God, I could take it. I'll take the pain. But why does my kids have to also take that pain? I don't know what it is to lose a brother, right? Like me, I'll take it. It's tough. Yeah, it's hard. I cry every day. It's been 2 years. There's not a day that I don't. But it's tough. Yeah. So with my kids, it's like, man, I don't want them to go through these things, right? Like, I'm gonna back up a little bit. I want to share, like, what God gave me a chance to tell bye to my son. And this was really special, right? We were supposed to leave on a vacation, on a trip, 2 days after he passed. I already had to plan the trip and everything. So he had left with his mom to Oklahoma. So he came back, and my little one, he's gonna be 8. So at that time he was probably like 5 or 6. Like 6 years old. So I was at work, and this is the only time. So this is a Monday. Mm-hmm. I always pick up my kids on a weekend. Yeah. But sometimes I'll pick them up on Thursdays, right? And this was summer, right? It was in June. So their mom calls me, and she's like, hey, Liam, his name's Liam, the little one, he wants to go with you. I'm like, well, I'm still at work. I said, but I'm gonna work tomorrow, and tomorrow I'm just gonna go to work tomorrow, and then I'm off. And I need to get up really early because I have a lot of stuff to finish at work. So he could go with me, but he's going to have to wake up early the next day, 5 a.m. She's like, no, I know. I just told him to wait, but he wants to go with you right now. I was like, no, just tell him I'll pick him up tomorrow. Or no, on Wednesday. It was Monday. I'll tell him I'll pick him up on Wednesday. I already like to go wherever we're leaving, right? He got on the phone. He like that. Like, can you pick me up?
Yeah.
I was like, Liam, baby. And so I convinced him. It's like, okay, like to wait till Wednesday. I'm driving home. And it's not even something that I could say, oh, something told me to drive there. I automatically went to her house and I was like, wait a minute, I wasn't supposed to pick her up or pick him up. But it's like, car took me there. It was an autopilot. And I was like, and I texted her, I was like, hey, I'm here. Like, it's like, okay, he's going downstairs. And he got in, took off. And then he said, Dad, my video game, the little DS.
Oh, the DS.
The DS.
The Switch.
Yeah, he was like, oh, Dad, my game. And we had already left. I was already like more than a block away. He's like, Dad, my game. I was like, no, look, it's okay. He's like, no, Dad, my game, please. And I even got mad. I was like, Liam, you're not going to get like that for your game. Like, he's like, no, Dad, my game, please, Dad, please. And I looked at him through the mirror, right? He's like, please, a little face. I said, all right, let's go back. I went back and then I was like, all right, go get it. He said, Dad, can you go get it, please? I'm like, Liam, what's wrong with you? Like bro, why are you acting like, and he never acts like that. He never acts like that for his game. He said, Dad, please, can you go get it?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, Liam, go get it. I don't want to go. She lived upstairs on the 3rd floor. I was like, I don't. I was like, oh, so I parked and I was like, all right. So I went and as I was approaching the stairs, I heard like, pow, 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 like somebody coming downstairs. And it was Omar, my oldest son. And he even like skipped the last step. And he jumped on me.
No. So
my son was really affectionate, right? But this time felt different. My son will always hug me. He was 16 years old. I dropped him off in high school and he'll give me a kiss on the cheek. Say, bye, Dad, I love you. So at that time he hugged me and it felt different.
Yeah.
It felt different. It was a little too much. It felt different.
It's almost like you can tell, like, I don't know. It's kind of like the last time or maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't, but at the same time, you're like, no, what am I?
Yeah. Why am I thinking that? Yeah.
And I remember he's like, hey, Dad, like, because I hadn't seen him for a week.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't seen him for a whole week. And that was a lot for me. I was like, man, I need to see my kids. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm going crazy here. Like, and he's like, hey, Dad, like, he was telling me about his trip. I said, okay, well, get your stuff ready because we'll leave on Wednesday. And he said, okay, can I just put my backpack in your truck? That way, this and that. It's like, yeah. I said, all right, Dad, I love you. I love you too, so. And that was the last words were I love you too, right? And so later on when he passed, so his mom was like, man, that day when you left with Liam the first time, Omar was in the restroom and he came out. He said, did my dad leave already? He said, yeah, he already picked up Liam. He's like, oh man, I missed him. Let me see if I could go catch him. And that's why he was running downstairs. So I feel like my son, Liam, God gave me a chance to tell him bye.
Yeah.
And that's why he was running downstairs to try to catch me.
Yeah. That's a really beautiful story though, because it's like, and the fact that God used your son, and I think a lot of times we're so rushed with life and we just ignore not just our kids, but like anyone else. Yeah. Like everything is meant to happen for a reason.
Yeah.
And so your son, like your little one calling you back home and like you fighting against it.
Yeah.
I feel a lot of times we fight against it, but it's like, if we just stop and let go and like listen, even though they're little, right? Like our kids. Mm-hmm. It's like it's God uses our kids, I feel like more than he even uses us because they're just so connected and innocent. Mm-hmm. And I think if we take a pause and we like listen to our kids a lot more
and understand their love language.
Yeah. Yeah. That too. Like that was a beautiful moment because God used your little one, Liam, in that situation.
Yeah. I don't know how I would have felt like if I wouldn't had a chance, to see him that day. Because that same day, that's when he passed, that Monday. And I could say this, I have a really good relationship with their mom. And remember I told you how, we got divorced, and that promise that I made to my son about when he said, I just don't want to see y'all fight.
Yeah.
I was able to fulfill that for him. And I could say, like, as a father, I'm proud that I never talked bad about his mom to him.
Yeah.
Never. He never heard that from me. He never heard that, those words, like,
anything negative.
Yeah.
That's good.
And no matter what happened between us, no matter what, it's just, I wanted to set an example for him that, like, hey, like, this is your mom, and this is, this is a lady, right? This is a woman. She's my kid's mom first, and then she's my ex-wife. Now I see she's God's daughter first. Then she's my kid's mom. Then she's my ex-wife.
Yeah.
So that's a tip for, like, respect, how to, respect your kid's mom. Like, I don't even call her baby mama. I don't like that word.
I know. I don't like the baby daddy word either.
Yeah. I can't. I told her, she knows how I feel about the word baby daddy, like, but I can't be like, don't call me baby daddy. So what I do is, like, I don't act like one.
Yeah. And hey, that's true, though.
And I respect her, and I never call her that, like, I don't like that word, right?
Yeah.
Because I was my kid's mom. So because we had a good relationship, the funeral arrangement, the funeral planning, when it could have got worse, right? It could have gone bad. I remember, man, we had to plan a funeral on her birthday. And to me, as a, I don't know how it is for a mother, right, to lose a child. So I know what it is for her dad, right? But, carrying a kid in your womb, like, for 9 months, and this is her baby, right? Like, I wish I could have done more, like, and it didn't matter at that moment. Like, I remember I went to her apartment, right, the day after, and I was like, hey, look, we're not together, but we're in this together. Yeah. So I need you to get up, and we gotta plan this funeral.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people out there that will do it for us, but we have to do it.
Yeah.
And it was good that we had a good relation. We have a good relationship like that, a respectful relationship, because, like I said, we were able to agree on, colors and all of that, which, that's a hard thing. Like, that's the hardest thing, planning son's funeral. I mean,
yeah,
it's so much pressure. Like, we need this, we need pictures, we need music, we need what kind of, it's like, hold on, let me breathe.
Yeah.
That was the story behind that. And ever since then, like, I've always tried to show my kids, like, my goal is to show people, right, like, what victory is, right? Like, starting with my kids, I want them, they deserve it, like, they deserve to see a dad that is like, man, he's overcoming this stuff.
Yeah.
They see me cry, like, they see me, how I feel, and like a single dad, right? But
I think you're also showing them that it's okay to be, like, emotional and cry.
Yeah.
And feel your emotions.
Just be human.
Like, because that's tough. Like, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think a lot, as a man, like, you grow up thinking, okay, I gotta learn how to be a man. Okay, my man. One time in my church, at Social Dallas, we have a thing called Stag, right? It's for our men. We have it once a month. And one time, Pastor Robert Sr., the pastor's father, he said, there's a moment in your life when you become a man. He said, everybody should know that moment. And who knows where that moment was. Most raised their hand. He said, but I want dates. If you know that when you became a man, you should know the date.
Yeah.
I want dates. Like, give me a date. So my son died June 26th, right? It wasn't that day. The day I became a man was July 3rd.
What day was that?
Sorry.
That's okay.
That's the day that I saw my son for the first time. I needed to see him. His mom needed to see him. From June 26th, all that week, going through this, going through that, where I'm like, I need to see my son. Like, I need to see my son. We call the funerals. Yeah, you could see him the day of the funeral, maybe an hour early before everybody or whatever. It's like, no, I want to see him right now. And then the holiday was coming up, 4th of July. So I'm like, I don't want to wait till after 4th of July. It's already been almost 2 weeks. Like, I need to see my son. And we found a funeral. This lady, bless her heart, she said, look, I'm a mother myself. I will let you see your son. You want to come see him tomorrow? Like, I'll put him in a room and he's not going to have any cosmetics, I said, I don't care. I want to see him. And it was July 3rd, 2023 when I went in the room, and that moment I became, oh man, like that moment changed me. That moment, seeing my son there, like.
Did you feel like that was the beginning of like a transformation?
It was a moment that I had to choose between what type of father am I going to be. All my life I thought, okay, now I'm going to be a man. Okay, now I'm going to be a man. I'm going to learn how to cook and clean, and that's going to make me a man. I'm just going to make me ready for a wife or whatever. And now that moment, see my son there, cold, hard. I think at that moment I did. I had to make a decision. It's like, what type of father am I going to be? Am I going to end up in jail? What type of father am I going to be? What type of man am I going to be? Am I going to live with this forever and hold that? Because once again, like we talked about my past relationships, I was never healed, right? Like I always had that, like we mentioned. Am I going to carry that with me? Am I going to pass it on to the next woman, right? Like, what type of man? Like I think that like we think we're man, but I was a kid all the way to that day. Like I thought I was a man. That day, yeah, sitting there. I think we maybe like 3 hours, 2 hours, just him, his mom, and myself. We cried and we reminisced. We laughed sometimes. Held them, and it's real. Like it's real.
Yeah.
So
when you say you became a man, like what does that mean to you?
I told my son there, I said, I got you. I didn't know what I meant by telling him, I got you, son. I really didn't know. I don't know what it was. And to be honest, I didn't know when I said, I knew that moment I was going to become a man. This was before I had a relationship with God. This was before all that. So to me, that's why I said, what type of man am I going to be, right?
Yeah.
Because to me, avenging my son would have made me a man at that time. But at the same time, it's like, well, what type of man am I going to be to my kids, my father? So it was over the place. Yeah, I was so confused. I just knew I wanted to be a man at that time. Like after that, I knew that moment changed me, and I knew that moment made me a man, but it was just what kind, what type. I didn't know at that.
Well, because a lot of people can think, like you said it right now, like some people can think like, hey, I'm gonna go and like kill somebody or whatever, and that makes you a man, right? But in my mind, that doesn't. I mean, it sounds like you wanted to be there for your boys, and you wanted to survive, and you wanted to lead and continue leading your boys because you still had them. Like that for me, that sounds like being a man. Like it's always easier to go and kill and destroy, and like it's temporary. Like, but does that make you a real man? Like, you can get a gun, you can go shoot whoever. Like, that doesn't make you a man. That's a coward way out.
Yeah.
So I think you meant it when you said be a man.
I was going through my phone, right, and that was one of the last messages he sent me, and that really made me think things through. Can I read it?
Yeah, of course.
It was from Omar, probably like a month before he passed. He said, "Hey, Dad, I probably don't tell you this a lot, but I appreciate everything you do for me. I'm thankful you ain't no deadbeat who won't, excuse my language, give a damn.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you for everything you do for me and my brothers, and I'm going to pay you back when I'm older." He's not thanking me for anything material, right? He's thanking me for being a good dad, right? And I text him back the day. I said, "I love you, son. Don't forget that. I want the best for you and your brothers. I will always be this dad that you see in me." And I feel like, what does that mean when he said, "I'm going to pay you back when I'm older"? Obviously, when I got that message the first time he sent it to me, I didn't think it through, right? I'm thinking, like, I don't need you to pay me back. I don't need that. But when I read it after, I read it through and I understood what he said. So I appreciate everything you do for me. I just want to say thank you for everything you do for me, my brothers. That I'm going to pay you back was, I'm going to be a good man. I'm gonna be a good father. I'm gonna be a good husband. All that. That's what he was telling me. Like, you're not gotta worry about me, Dad. I'm gonna be a good person, right?
Yeah.
So we had to bury him after 4th of July because it was the weekend and the holiday. I remember the hardest thing was 4th of July. I would put a pillow over my face and I didn't want to hear fireworks. I didn't want to hear gunshots. I didn't want to hear nothing. And the enemy was telling me I was a coward. I could almost literally feel like I was getting choked, right? Like something right here. And I couldn't go to sleep because the enemy would tell me, like, sleep. You're gonna sleep. I could almost hear it too. It's real.
Yeah.
It is real. Like, I could almost hear him, sleep. You're gonna sleep. Like, how can you even sleep?
Yeah.
You're a coward. Go out there and he'll tell me, like, he'll whisper to me. And I've had to fight that all the time. I couldn't even cry because I feel if I cry, I was a coward. Like, and seeing it from somebody that wasn't raised in this church every day or whatever, or like I spoke about my story earlier, seeing it from that point of view, it's like, man, it's real. Like evil is real.
Yeah.
I could just imagine how many people wake up in jail. It's like, man, like they couldn't defeat it, right? Like, it was real. Even after, so my son passed on a Monday, so the next day, it was, on Tuesday, everybody comes to my house. I have this friend. He's like, "I don't know how you feel about this." And I remember this so good. And this is why I say, like, the enemy is real. He said, "I don't know how you feel about this, but at my church, we're having a prayer night." I said, "I don't know. Do you want to go? I don't want to, do too much. I'm just going to extend an invitation." And deep in my heart, I wanted to go. But something was holding me back. But not just holding me like, "You're not going." Almost like it was hugging me, giving me comfort.
Do you think it was a voice like telling you, you don't need that?
It was the enemy holding me.
If today's episode spoke to you, we'd love for you to share it. Post it, text it, send it to your group chat. Someone else might need this reminder too. We're so honored to do life and faith with y'all. Until next time, keep your heart open, your cafecito warm, and your hope alive.